time I played through it, the one on the right was definitely much more doable. And then the one on the left, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I could do it. But I am going to try to play it for you though. It might not be up to tempo because you're 120, you said 120, right? So it's pretty fast. So why don't I walk you through what makes the number 1 left-hand side challenging. So on this first note, the C, I'm playing that on the D string, but it's in a higher position. And then, so there's a skip there. And then the next one, I have to either shift back. So I can play it, but it's a lot of jumping around. If I try to stay closer in this upper register, I could go, but that's also hard too. So no matter how I do it, there's just a lot of shifting and also string crossing. So the only challenge is that if, I don't know what the articulation for this passage is, if it's supposed to be smoother or if it can be more, I guess, detached. Because I'm shifting and doing a lot of string crossing, it will probably be more detached. I don't know if I could do it any more legato than that. Maybe that, but it gets a little bit sloppy. The next one is actually really cool because the first interval is a perfect fifth, right? So in violin playing, we use obviously 4 fingers, and so that creates a natural perfect fourth. So it's easy to go, that's easier for us. And because it's in a higher position, the intervals shrink. So then I could do a perfect fifth easy too. So now I don't even have to shift to do that first part. And then now I can go shift back. And those 3 notes in the triplets, I can do in one position too. So then, it's so much easier because I'm not jumping around too much, and then I'm also not string crossing as far as like from E to D string.
In between beats, like when you're moving to a new, like in this case, you're moving to a new beat and then you shift. Like if you're talking about a huge shift.
If someone asked me to just do a regular scale, right? That's not that very hard, even though I'm not on the beat. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's more about like how high it is. The higher it gets, the more like mysterious it kind of becomes, the less secure it is. So I would say that anything beyond 4th position, so if I go to 5th position, it becomes a little more cramped, you know, it's a little bit harder. But anything that you write in like the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th position, I can do really confidently. But that's just me. You know, a more advanced violinist might be able to say, well, all positions are fine, but you know, just I guess the way that the violin is set up, it's just very uncomfortable when it's like this high, you know. Anatomically, I feel like it's kind of, or ergonomically, it's a little bit difficult too. Not impossible, but if you're going to have us play here, maybe like gradually get us there. Like going from like here to like all the way up there, it's not impossible, but don't make us do it all the time. You know, the more you do it, it's almost like target practice. Number 2, so the first interval is a minor 7th, right? I really like that interval. But here, to get to that top B, what? That's a shot in the dark for me. I have to kind of guess. If I practice it enough, I probably will be able to do it. But it is a little bit harder, just because I have to go from that F sharp, and in order to get to the B, I just have to shift suddenly. Now I got one. So it's sort of tricky, but not impossible.
You have a smaller margin of error in that higher position, right? When you shift, when you shift, the smaller margin of error means you have to be you're more likely to mess up the intonation and...
True. And also just like melodically too, going from like a low F sharp to a really high B, like I know that's just the perfect fourth or perfect 11th, right? But it's hard to hear this, so what did I do? I guess if I practice it enough, I could do it. There you go. It's not impossible. It's okay. But the next one that you did to the right one, same thing. Because I have a E, F sharp, and then here, I could do a perfect fourth with that second finger and fourth finger, so I don't even have to move. So if you could write a melody that just wants that high B, this is so much better than the previous one. And I'm not sure how much of a difference it's going to make for your composition if you use the left one or the right one. Yeah, number 3, so the first one is a G. And then I'm going to play the D on the D string. So that's my G, that's my D. But again, I'm crossing, I'm going from the E string to the D string, which is already kind of tough. And then I have to go back to the E. It's kind of fun to do, but that low D is really hard to hit. Not impossible, but the right hand side is so much easier because I don't have to skip a string. Right? And it just sounds so much better too. Because also, maybe it's true in flute too, to hear that D, because it's in the same like octave, rather than, that's really hard to hear, but not impossible.
Nice. Thanks so much. I'm so enlightened right now.
Alright, I'm glad you got something out of it.